It is that time again. Yes, I have returned after yet another small hiatus. Now, before I get anything started, let me go ahead and just give you a quick little recap about what happened. First thing first, it is great to be back. What's up, y'all? Hope y'all been good. And shout out to everybody who's been keeping up with me, wondering what's been going on, when is the Bleach reviews going to come back. And as you can see now, yes, they are back along with other videos. Now, of course, there was a time when this camera started malfunctioning greatly. There was a time when I was recording a Bleach review, and then come to find out, it just shut off. I checked everything. I checked the battery, the memory, everything. I did other mini test recordings. It will fluctuate. At one point, it was working very good. I've been filmed and recorded the Doom Collector's Edition. Flawless. Went through flawless. But once I started doing the Bleach reviews, it's like it was just some type of curse. It just would not stay on. It was very, very frustrating. Try to do things to put it together to edit it. It just did not come out the way I wanted it to. So, on top of that note, I know I put on my Facebook fan page that I was just going to put out an audio version of the Bleach review. Now, some Bleach reviewers do this, and that's perfectly fine. And I thought it was really going to work, but no, I'm like just the audio, just a few pictures and audio. No, I wanted to do it the way that I do it now. So, that's with that. Also, the other thing, yes. Ladies, I'm off the market. I notified a lot of you regarding it, but yes, I have a new lady now. I know. I broke a lot of hearts with that one. But hey, you know, I've been spending a lot of time with my new lady. I'm loving everything. I have a full-time job. She has a full-time job. That's another thing where my time has been being put into. But don't be fooled at all. Don't think I wasn't reading these Bleach chapters. I mean, there was just, oh, but I've been keeping up with everything. People have been asking me questions, sending me pictures, giving my thoughts and feedbacks on certain things. So yes, I am going to do the whole Bleach in bulk review from Father 1 all the way up to Horn of Salvation. So let's get this motivator started. Everybody, what's going on? We are still live at you. Already know what it is. I'm here to bring you, yes, the Bleach bulk review, where I cover 4 chapters in this one video. Now, of course, the way I'm going to do it, the previous 3, you know, is going to be a lot quicker than what I usually do with one main chapter. But the last one, you know, Horn of Salvation, that's the one I'm really going to go into. So, out of all of these, Father 1 seemed like it was the quickest. Out of these 4, Father 1, it was the, the least amount of things happened. Of course, but the things that I liked, and I'm going to point out that I noticed that I feel are relevant, that not irrelevant, but are relevant, is the fact that I like the fact that when Ichigo was going up to Juha, you know, you can see the amount of his spiritual pressure. It's just visual, his spirit energy. It's all visual. It just goes to show that he's just not at the full power now. You know, that I really, really do like. But this is my gripe about this whole thing between Juha and Ichigo. Now, Juha, he's one of those villains that they have this ultimate power to win, but they purposely don't use it so they can enjoy the fight. You know, sort of like in a sort of similar fashion with Kenpachi, he loves to handicap himself because he loves to fight. But in this case with Juha, you know, it makes you wonder if this is going to be his downfall. He has the Almighty. Even Ichigo said, like, oh, thought you could see this. I'm pretty sure you can see that. You're going to see the outcome of this. And his Almighty isn't activated. He's not even using it. You know, he wants to enjoy the fight. He wants the moment to last longer. I mean, that right there seems like it's going to be a downfall. And it's going to take away from the overall feel of when Ichigo seemed like he has the upper advantage, like the upper hand or the advantage in the battle. It looks like he's going to win, or it looks like he's really doing good. And that's when Juha's going to be like, nah, motivator. It's time for the Almighty. And then right there, it's just going to be shooting everything down that Ichigo's ever been doing. The other thing is that when Ichigo, of course, I knew he was going to try this. He went to fire the Getsuga Tensho at Juha. I knew that wasn't going to do anything at all. But I did like the size of it. We've all seen the different sizes of his Getsuga Tenshos throughout the series, but I do like it. But it's crazy how Juha, he's just sitting on the throne, keeping Ichigo at bay just with his energy alone. I thought that was pretty damn sweet, y'all. I mean, imagine you just sitting there. It's sort of like when the Byakuya with Zenbun Zakura, Byakuya can just stand there. Or hell, Byakuya can sit down themselves. Scatter. Zenbun Zakura. And then he can just control the pedals just like Juha. He's just sitting there keeping Ichigo at bay with his energy alone. And it's very, very, it was shocking at first, but it really made sense. Number one, this is Juha, and he absorbed the Spirit King along with Mimi Hagi. So it does make sense. I mean, it's just overflowing with power. But the chapter seemed very quick and straight to the point. I mean, it ended with him getting up off his throne saying, let me show you what I can really do. So, Father 1 to me, it was okay. Now, Father 2, this one was a little bit better. It seemed lengthy, more dialogue. One thing I noticed when Toshiro was talking to Byakuya about the Spirit Arts Academy, he said they weren't taught to fight for their superiors or families, but they were taught to fight for their friends and the human lives, And of course, I'm thinking like the Spirit Arts Academy. I'm thinking like I missed something here. Like, is that a different translation for the actual academy? Because I'm thinking like, okay, the Spirit Arts Academy, that's something that was never brought up before. Like I said, I was thinking, man, maybe it's just a mistranslation. I don't know if Toshiro was being sarcastic. Like, I don't know if you ever attended the academy, but they taught us. Maybe I was thinking, was he being sarcastic like that? But I do like the way Byakuya, he likes to put on this image, It's like even when he shows that he cares, he likes to put on this image that he doesn't care. He doesn't want to come off the scene mushy or soft. But I don't know, maybe it's just pride, but I don't see nothing wrong with just saying, look, I don't want you to get hurt. Get out of here. He has to make up all these different reasons and ways of doing it. But hey, Byakuya still my favorite captain. That's just how he is as a character. Now, on with Hashwoth and Uryu. So far, this fight is going exactly as I predicted. I'm just not seeing nothing Uryu can do against Hashwoth. Even though it's funny, he drank the blood of Juha, but maybe he can activate that ability until Juha dies. But so far, we see Hashwoth, he's not even using a bow. Yes, he's using his spirit weapon, the Claymore. And Uryu, he's getting jacked up in this fight. And I love the metaphor and the symbolic lecture he gave Uryu regarding the balance and the good and bad people do and everything. I love that because it fits with his script, I guess, for Star Knight B, the balance, but I am liking this. But what's crazy is that he is just, I don't know why he just won't go ahead and kill Uryu. I know Uryu will not die, but at this point, Uryu is jacked up, but it seems like he's really hanging in there. I think Hashwoth is probably toying with him. I don't know, to probably draw out Uryu's real power. I don't know, maybe just the way Kubo does these things, but Uryu, he's just, no, he's not holding his weight in this fight, just as I predicted. But one thing I did like is the fact that we see Uryu, he has a new bow. This is my favorite bow. Out of all his bows, he has new bows. But with Uryu, we see that out of these bows that he has, you would think that maybe this is symbolizing his progression in power. Because with these other Star Knights and Quincy's, it makes you wonder whether the spirit weapons that these Star Knights have now, is that how it looked originally? I mean, we see Basby's cross with a bow gun when he was younger. Then you look at it now, one would think like, okay, did he get stronger? Of course he got stronger, but it's like Uryu, he has these different bows. But is that the same case with the other Quincy's? Whatever. First, remember he had the Quincy cross around his wrist, and he would just use that to draw in the spirit particles and form a bow. But he needed that thing around his wrist. Now we see he had opened up his hand, because the one he had before that was, I think it was real small when he was fighting Genjo, I believe. And Genjo, he dodged those arrows sweet as hell in the anime. He really did. But now we see Uryu, he's gathering the spirit particles, and I guess that's really I know that's really in his favor, because he's right here in the War Welt and Soul Society, and also the density is very, the spirit particle density is very high, that's an advantage for him. So that new bow, I'm hoping he does a new trick with it. Maybe it has higher attack damage, who knows, but that new bow I do like. Another thing, the end of this chapter, Father 2. I'm going to tell you this right now. The hype of this was so damn real. A fan of mine, forgive me, I forget your name, but I was out and about with my new lady. We were getting some Chinese food, and I got an inbox message on Facebook. I checked it, I was on my phone, and they sent me the last picture of Father 2, where you seen Ryukin and Ishin. And that right there had me hella hyped. And the good thing is, she's into anime a little bit. Of course, she's into games a little bit. She understands and support me with my whole YouTube thing, this little hobby I have. And she understands what Bleach is. She knows I review it. And so that's when, well, she doesn't understand Bleach in the sense that she's a fan. She gets the concept of it, the gist of it. So when I seen that picture, I got hella hyped. And she's like, what's going on, what's going on? I said, you just won't understand. You won't really understand it. And she's like, no, just show me. I showed it to her. She just, and basically, she, like I said, she didn't understand. So I'll say, you just don't get it. I said, I'm a big fan of the series, as you know. And this right here is something that so many people have been wondering about and waiting for. So anyway, this right here sealed the deal for the chapter. And me and Game On Cloud 9 were talking about this, and plus other Bleach fans. The whole thing of Ryukin and Ishin, like, where are they? Where are they? Especially Ryukin. Like, come on now. This whole arc is about the Quincy. You don't know where your son is, this and that. But how did he hear about this? I don't know. It was probably a no-brainer. But I'm just so glad these two are back in the fray. I am so glad. And I honestly think Ryukin is going to save and kill Hashwolf. I honestly believe that Ishin, he's going to go and support and take out Star Knight M. How will he do it? I don't know. Some will say no. Some will say that's a miracle within itself. But let's not forget, this is Ichigo's father. No, Ichigo's father isn't mixed with every race, every species in the damn series like Ichigo is. But this guy, he did a technique, he flipped Aizen. This guy's hella strong. This motivator did the Getsuga Tensho without even with the Zanpakuto still sealed, without going into Shikai. This guy's hella powerful, so who knows what his Bunkai is going to be. It's probably going to look very similar to Ichigo's old Bunkai, but who knows what other tricks he has up his sleeve. Ishin is no pushover. But the thing about this, they talked about using this old portal, that they used before, but it was, of course, you've seen this coin drop. And there's a portal that Ryukin's father used, Ryu's grandfather, when he got exiled. Now, maybe I'm missing something, or maybe my memory needs to be refreshed. But I'm thinking, like, exile, like what's going on, because it's the history with that, his father, plus this old ancient Quincy stuff that's been going on, it makes you wonder, like, is this going to go deeper with the what's his last name? The Ishida family, like, because we see Kurji, he spoke on that as well to Ichigo, regarding Uryu Ishida. He actually heard of him. So the Ishidas, they're probably pretty well known to the Star Knights, or even Juha as well. Hell, probably Hashwolf, as old as he is. Well, they're all old, but especially Hashwolf and Juha. And the thing is, I honestly think after Ryukin helps out with Hashwolf, and after Ishin helps out with Star Knight M, the miracle, they're all going to go fight towards Juha. And it makes perfect sense because you have Ichigo and Uryu saying, I'm getting revenge from my mother. And Ishin and Ryukin saying, I'm getting revenge, we're getting revenge for our wives. It makes perfect sense. You have the two Soul Reaper, well, the Soul Reaper and the mixed breed with the two Quincy's. Even though some will say Uryu is a mixed breed, but it's whatever. So that's one of the things I'm predicting. But I'm just so glad about it. I'm more curious to see what Ryukin can do more than Ishin, because Ishin, we got a good idea of his power scale, what he's capable of. But Ryukin, I'm hella hyped. He looked pretty damn sweet in that get up right there. He really does. Now for Bleach chapter 675, Blood from My Bone. Now this chapter, it's like each chapter is getting better and better and better. This one right here, I like the fact that Uryu, Hashwolf, it goes on to that fight, Hashwolf and Uryu. And I like the fact that Uryu and Hashwolf, as they're talking, Hashwolf says, again, I'm beginning to sound like a broken record. I've already seen the fall of your allies and comrades, everything. But this was a good thing that Uryu brought up at first when I was reading. He said, this future that you see, can it not be changed? And I'm like, oh, that's a good question. But the thing is, couldn't Hashwolf see that the change was going to happen, or that there was going to be an attempt of a change and it was going to fail or succeed, whichever one? But he claims he's seen that they're going to fail, but whatever. But the crazy thing is, of course, he also mentioned that the whole ability switching thing between him and Juha, he said he's just merely borrowing. You know, he can't use it to his full extent, his full power. You know, he can maybe see into the future, maybe a little bit, but he can't use it to the full extent. But he did tell him that was truly, he said, seeing into the future is not what's truly terrifying about that ability. And I'm thinking like, oh, here we go. Like, this is the thing Kubo is known for doing, putting in more mystery and secrets on top of secrets and unanswered questions, you know, building up hype and anticipation and things like that, because there are multiple battles still going on. It's like, damn, we all knew, you know, and we're all familiar with this almighty ability. Now there's something else to it. Like, what the hell? If that wasn't hacked enough to be able to see into the future, and then you have the power to do something about it in terms of strength, taking abilities, giving abilities, etc., blue vein, blue artery, having swords, this and that, making motivators blow up, all this type of stuff. Now there's more to the almighty ability. Maybe Uryu, he can tap into it since he drank the blood. I doubt it. I don't know. But with that, I mean, it just made the whole fight between Uryu and Hashwolf, I expected more. I really wanted Uryu to get this win, because he needed a good victory in this story, man. I mean, if you really think about it, Uryu, I like him as a character, but think about how many characters he's defeated, how many battles he's won. This would have been a perfect thing, but I guess maybe Uryu and his father Ryuken will come together and get this victory, because Ryuken, he really needs a victory. But maybe it'd be a father and son thing. Maybe that's how strong Hashwolf is, especially when he goes to his final holy form, which I can't wait. But it seemed like he's going to show Uryu the true extent of his power. Maybe he was going to show the B ability, or maybe he was just going to go into his final holy form. Who knows? But it just seemed like, damn, I was really hoping, like, man, how Uryu's going to get out of this. He has the almighty ability. You know, Hashwolf has the almighty ability, but now it didn't go that way. Now, another thing in this chapter I liked is when Juha says, if you don't defeat me, so society will fall, the real world will fall, you know, you have to defeat me. And I really like that, because for all of the Ichigo haters, if you haven't realized right now, which first I already cleared it up in my old video explaining Ichigo as a character. But now, for the ones who are saying he has nothing to fight for, he has nothing to fight for, why is he fighting? These are the two reasons. Of course, revenge for his mother. Revenge is a purpose. Revenge for his mother, and the fact that he is doing this to save Soul Society in the real world. Now, as cliche as that may sound, you know, oh, revenge and saving the world, go figure. What do you expect? This is a fictional story shown in hero versus main villain. What do you expect? But at least it's a reason. Things that people were complaining about that Ichigo didn't have. So, and it makes sense. I mean, damn, everything needs balance. If Soul Society crumbles, it will make an effect with Hoikomono, the real world. They all need each other for perfect balance. They maintain balance in the universe, and Juha, he plans to disrupt that balance. But I don't see how he would still live if he, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, so there it is. He has to protect Soul Society in the real world and get revenge for his mother. 2 reasons. Bam. That I do like. But the other thing is, I like when Ichigo's getting smacked around all the time. Just getting smacked around. Me and Irvin was talking about this. And me and a couple other guys. We were saying that, damn, this guy's getting smacked around just by energy. Like, come on, Ichigo. Like, you have full power now. You should be able to, you know, I mean, yes, he was cutting through it at times. Getting close to Juha. Juha energy blocked his arm one time. You know, that I didn't notice, but then it made sense. Again, this is Juha's energy combined with the, you know, him absorbing the Spirit King. But the thing is, it was all on purpose, because he gave Orihime that look. Orihime with the grab Ichigo, Orihime look back, you know. And Orihime, that's the other thing. Oh yeah, Orihime. She's been blocking Juha's energy. That kind of shocked me. I'm like, damn. We seen when she tried to revert time / heal Ichigo, and Ukuyura put the hole in his chest and it shattered. She couldn't do it. But this, She's blocked. Now I get it. Blocking versus healing, that's two different things. But you get what I'm saying. Like, damn, she's actually stopping it. I guess that training paid off. Whatever. Or maybe she knew, like, finally, this, I can fight side by side by him. No turning back. This the final villain. I gotta go balls to the wall. Maybe that's it. But anyway, you see he was doing that on purpose. You see not necessarily getting hit on purpose, but you know, because we seen the tip of his southpaw toe, the one in his right hand, the long one, started turning white, and at that point, you see Ichigo turns into a whole new form. That was one of the best cliffhangers ever. And again, yes, that was yet another good chapter. Bleach chapter 676, Horn of Salvation. Now, it was already confirmed and explained that he was using Juha's energy to jolt that power, the Quincy energy to jolt that power to go into that new form. But I like this new, at first, just for a little bit, I had to get used to that one horn. But I understood what it was immediately. When I seen that one horn and the one eye looked different, you see the mark going down, it made perfect sense. Basically, his powers are in full harmony. They are in full, complete balance and harmony. And this guy just moved hella fast. Or he made, first he was right behind her, then he was in front of her, you know, and she did, the way it made it seem like he moved so fast, and we've seen and heard this before in another series. He moved so fast she didn't see him move. Because she was thinking like, when did he get right there? You know, I thought he was right here. But even Juha, he said, okay, so this is, you know, your end game right here. But that's the thing. Let's look at this. This isn't really the full extent of Ichigo's true power. The reason why I say that, he's still in Shikai. He's still in Shikai, and no, this is not his Bunkai. I bet there's a lot of people who thought this was his Bunkai. This is not his Bunkai. This is yet a form that was triggered through Juha's energy while he was still in Shikai. The thing is, when Ichigo raised his spiritual pressure, and the whole top of the whole top of the war world just damn near just exploded. Not damn near exploded, it did explode. Even Juha complimented his power. You know, that I love that. I wish Kubo would have drew it to where everybody around there that was in that vicinity would have felt it. I really wish maybe it'll happen next chapter, who knows. But we see Juha, his sword, when he goes to unsheath his sword, notice it looks like it's made out of pure energy. That's what it looks like. You know, it's just not like a solid sword. And Ichigo, he rushes this guy. I love that picture. He goes to rush him, and he goes to swing. And just by swinging, you see the impactful environmental damage that happens. But Juha blocks it with his bare hand. I'm like, Ichigo should have went Bunkai. And he said, do you really think this will be enough? Like, you really think you can damage me, you know, with this power of yours? So at that point, I like how Ichigo, he doesn't continue to swing because he knew, okay, if he can stop my Zanpakuto with his bare hand, will be the point of trying again. But chances are, he will try again. But the main thing of this chapter was when he combined the Grand Race Hero with the Getsuga Tensho. And we see it actually does damage to Juha. I love the face, the effect, the horn, just everything about it. I love this chapter. To me was perfect. I love to see Ichigo finally shooting a Zero. He just didn't shoot a Zero. He didn't just shoot a Grand Race Zero. He didn't just shoot a Getsuga Tensho. This motivator fired a Grand Race Zero combined with the Getsuga Tensho. Now some people are probably mad thinking like, yet another variation of Getsuga Tensho. First is Getsuga Tensho, the Getsuga Jujaisho, now Getsuga Tensho Grand Race Zero. But at least he combined it to do something new, because this to me was more impactful than just him shooting a Getsuga Tensho, him just shooting a Grand Race Zero. We all seen a Grand Race Zero before, but yet I know if he just shot a regular Grand Race Zero, it coming from Ichigo, I know it would have been, you know, a lot bigger. Of course, it would have looked different in terms of visuals. It would have just been more impactful, but I mean, it would have just been more powerful. But this whole combination of it, I loved it. Now the thing is, this is my gripe. This is my overall gripe, because I really did love this chapter. I really did. But when he explained everything regarding you know, his new ability, how he had to jolt the power from Juha's energy. It's like, I like this, but I don't. How he said he wasn't able to fully master this yet. That's why he had to do what he did. He had to jolt it using Juha's energy. You know, I like the white Zanpakuto and the black Zanpakuto. It's very symbolic. The metaphors, everything about it. But I mean, damn, this only happened because of Juha's spirit energy. You know? And then there was a time when Juha, he did tell Ichigo, are you afraid of going all out? Are you afraid of using your power? Are you afraid of having it taken away from you? But I find it ironic, you know, his inner Quincy spirit power is Juha, and Ichigo has the Quincy blood in him. All the Quincy's are basically his children. And he's talking about taking Ichigo's power, as we've seen him take powers before, but especially with the Quincy's. He talks about taking Ichigo's power, but yet Ichigo activated his power through Juha's spirit energy. So it's sort of like a tit for tat, give or take, one of those kind of things. So I wonder if no matter what Juha does, say if he takes Ichigo's power away, something else gets activated, or he can just reactivate it again if Juha smacks him up. Or maybe Juha, he'll get hip to it and be like, well, I'm not going to use my spirit energy. Or maybe Ichigo can just touch him or grab him. Or maybe if he gets cut by a sword, who knows? Who knows? But I do like how he said, I didn't master this yet. I haven't mastered it. I do like that because in a lot of series with characters, just because you learn a new ability or get a new power, that doesn't mean you automatically mastered it. And that is very true, especially in the series of Bleach with Bunkais. But yeah, so what if Juha didn't use the energy? Then what? Ichigo has just been forced to go Bunkai, and to be honest, I don't think just the regular Bunkai will be enough to do it. I just don't think so. I think him going Bunkai, while in this new form, he will have a good chance. But Juha just has too many other abilities. That's why maybe it will be a group effort towards Juha. But Ichigo will have the final killing blow. But overall, I love the chapters that's been happening. Like I said, from Father 1 all the way up to Horn of Salvation. I do like it. But you know what? I wonder if if his horn get cut, would that make him go back to his old form? We've seen it happen numerous amounts of times. Well, we've seen it happen in when he was fighting against Ukiura, and we see it happen in the Bleach movie when he went to hell, you know, the Hellverse. But man, beautiful chapter to me. I loved it. Next week, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I forgot all about Chad and Ganju fighting those statues. Maybe it'll touch on that. The rest of the Fullbringers will come and join the fray. But I'm just overall hyped and amped to where Bleach is right now. I'm loving it. Like I said, Ryukin taking on Hashwalls, Ishin taking on Star Knight M, and the rest of the Fullbringers will join the fray with Chad, and Orihime Ichigo will continue fighting Juha. So it's good to be back. I apologize for the great hiatus. Yes, I will have the next Bleach chapter with Bleach chapter 677. I think that's what it is. So give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Feel free to let me know anything I missed, or if you want me to answer any questions regarding things that happened in the other chapters, I'll be more than happy to answer it. So yeah, it's me, Captain Vaz. Again, it's good to be back. Thank you all for watching and waiting so much. I'll see you all at the next Bleach chapter review. Signing out.